Hi guy. So good evening to you. This evening I'm going to talk about my revised story about the story of empty tomb. So many of these stories now in the YouTube, and I've been watching them by prominent Bible scholars, a lecturer in university. So okay, all the consensus, or he think that he got a doubt and is more inclined that the tomb was not the tomb of Jesus, because this was the finding of DNA tests on the remains in the tomb, so it wasn't of family of Jesus. And I am going to tell you about what I read in the Gospel of Barnabas in a chapter that I forget, but there is, if you look through Gospel of Barnabas, you will find this story of Jesus worried. He was worried because he said he got a lot of enemies, and his enemies who kill him. So he was afraid of being killed by his enemies. So for that reason, he prayed to God, asking God to save him from being killed by his enemies. And God answered, yes, he would save Jesus. Jesus was very happy, and he prostrated to give thanks to God. But the angel came. You should do asking him to do more than just prostrating. So Jesus asked what else he should do. Angel said he should sacrifice a sheep. Then Jesus said he was poor, he cannot afford to buy a sheep, to be sacrificed. Then angel saw him a sheep standing near him there, and then that was the sheep he meant to be sacrificed. So it's like an offer by the angel for Jesus to sacrifice, to perform a sacrifice. So Jesus sacrificed the sheep. It's a way of thanking God, because he feel happy and the promise of God to protect him from being killed by his enemies. So when he was about to be killed by the woman raided his place where he was. I think it has also to do with Judas giving information. Judas Iscariot, the traitor, giving information to the Roman soldiers where Jesus whereabout was. So, and at that time Jesus was hiding in a chamber, small room in that building, or I don't know, maybe it was a temple. And so Judas Iscariot led the Roman army, and then Judas saw Jesus was there in the chamber and called the Roman soldiers, come here, here is, come, he was going to come. So he led the way, and maybe he was quite far away. He was eager to make sure that Jesus was there, so he was waiting for the Roman soldiers. But at the moment, Iscariot appearance changed to look like Jesus. So what happened? The Roman arrested Judas Iscariot, and Jesus escaped, taken out of that room by an angel. So it was Judas Iscariot who was carrying the cross and put on the cross and was killed. So then so how do the disciples know that Judas Iscariot was killed? They didn't know at first. So there was a great sorrow among the disciples and also a mother. And then when they know Jesus died, or it was not Jesus, when they thought Jesus died, they were very, very sorrowful. So during night time, they, under the cover of darkness, they took Jesus' body down from the cross and then bury him as quickly as they can. But with proper ritual, wrapped in white clothes, things like that, which is proper ritual, and with ointment and oil, expensive oil, because Jesus is a prophet, so they treat his body with a lot of respect. And then they bury, of course, they know that their enemies will be after Jesus' body. Do you think they will bury it and put a marking there, name Jesus? No, they hide him. They hide his burial somewhere, a secret burial somewhere, and then they cover it. They put the grass on like it's not been disturbed. So the Roman was not interested looking after Jesus' body. They know only he buried him, so that's it. They wasn't interested looking for the body, because they know that Jesus or someone was on the cross died already. So They're not interested in the dead body. So it was covered also in secret by someone, his enemy. His enemy may be after his body. So what happened by that very night? Jesus appeared to the disciple and his mother, and Jesus told them what happened, that he was safe. He was safe, and that night as well, that he would ascend to heaven. So what story will Jesus follower tell? Of course, they will tell anyone who is interested to know that Jesus had not died, and whereabout Jesus already disappeared, ascended to heaven. So nobody was interested to looking for the body of Jesus anymore, because he had not died. So what happened to this Paul, who make a doctrine that Jesus died on the cross and then wiped the sin of humanity? So he contested this story of Jesus had not died. So how he contested the story? He make the story of the tomb of Jesus as is evident that Jesus had died and buried in a tomb. So that's the reason why the true story, I believe this story is plausible, and it has become the Gospel of Barnabas, that empty tomb was ours, this invention of Paul to deceive you by, so that you will believe of his doctrine that Jesus had died and was like a sacrifice to wipe off the sin. So he has to make sure that people believe that Jesus had died, and to do that he makes story of Jesus' tomb, which now the science prove it is not of Jesus' family. So other people tomb, and Paul make a story that it was Jesus' tomb. Okay, I think my story is clear. It's up to you to believe me or otherwise, but very careful of believing Jesus is Son of God. Very careful of believing Jesus died on the cross. Jesus is Son of God. You have to believe as such before your sin can be wiped off, because the sin of adultery is the great sin mentioned in the Gospel of Barnabas. the sin of doing adultery is a great sin, and torment in hell will be forever and ever. So just think about it. Don't be fooled by the big liar fool. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for being with me.